Good morning, everyone. Morning and some, maybe not for others. But hey, welcome to another 20 minutes to clarity. I'm your host, Andy Merchant, and I'm with my great co-host and great business partner, the
Jason
Jason Noble,
Noble.
right? Hey, here we are, another week. My good friend, love the glasses today. I know we just spent a great week. And before we get kicked off, I just got to make a nice shout out. Congrats on being recognized as one of the top 100 Advisor Hub advisors out there. I know it's a great honor around growth, scale, and professionalism. I think he even made the top 5. So congrats on that, my friend.
Yeah, top five means I finished fifth, right? That's what that means. And I gotta tell you, it was a team effort. Everyone that works within our staff and the culture of this office, along with the culture of our firm, right, Andy? It all culminates into being recognized and what we care about. Don't get me wrong, I'm very proud of this recognition, very humbled by this recognition. But what our attention is towards the experience that we provide our clients through the process and the approach that we take on a day in and day out basis. It's something that's so important, and I can't wait to talk about what we're going to be focusing on today, which is financial mindset. I got these glasses on. I'm going to take it off because you can't just be focusing on your money. You got to be focusing on your mindset. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts of what I just said there, Andy?
Well, that's so important, right? I mean, well, and I know, mindset's so important, and today's really focused on financial IQ and mindset. This is all about continual learning. I know you and I work tremendously hard on making sure we stay up to date on that, and I think we just spent a great week in North Carolina talking with some of our partners to expand our mindset and kind of learn a little bit more. Earning your top designation that you referred to there, it took a lot of time, energy, and effort around your financial IQ, and I know I just want to share maybe some of the top points today with those that are listening around ways that they can expand their financial IQ. And you and I talk daily about all of our books we're reading. And I think that dedicating some time, energy, and effort to financial topics are going to help clients be better at understanding maybe some of the guidance and advice that advisors like us are trying to share with them. So that's kind of my take on that, and I hope we can maybe hit a few maybe key things today around financial IQ.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. What questions do you have? What do you want to get started with?
Yeah, I mean, really, first of all, let's just talk about what is financial IQ, right? I mean, how would you define what it means when someone's asking you, well, I need to expand my financial IQ. Well, what are they expanding in the first place?
Well, developing like a strong financial IQ or financial intelligence is really crucial for making informed financial decisions and achieving long-term financial success. And when I think about it, it's what are they doing themselves and how are they going through the process? You got to educate yourself and take that initiative by learning about personal finance and investment principles. There's many wonderful resources out there that you could start to go down and explore. Follow financial news and from trusted resources, of course, right? And if you're seeing something that's slanted a certain way, they're only looking at it from a myopic viewpoint. You may want to look at it from a different viewpoint just to see how that all comes together. You want the unbiased, straightforward news. I know this is more and harder to come across in our society, but it's so important. Set your financial goals, budget and financial planning, but understanding the investment basics. But then I would even say this is where it comes to bringing in a professional. Um, if you are lacking the time, the energy, or the focus to build the financial IQ, working with a trusted advisor that has a heart of a coach and a trainer and a teacher, that they bring you along within the concepts. They just don't tell you what it is, but they walk you through how it works and why they're suggesting a certain approach for your specific finances. Um, trust but verify is what I'm going into. Trust what they're saying, but verify the information by looking at these other sources that I mentioned earlier. What are your thoughts, Andy?
Yeah, no, just expanding on it, right? And we talk, part of our point of these podcasts and our value add is to maybe provide some information and resources that go beyond maybe the traditional wealth advisor experience for clients, right? And And I don't know how many advisors spend a lot of the time, energy, and effort it takes to provide financial IQ outside of maybe what that individual strategy they're trying to implement or get involved. So, I know part of our Clear Picture Wealth program, we're very focused on having our clients learn more, know more. I'm a huge fan of teaching our clients about their plan so they know how to implement it. I mean, our clients rely on us so much to help them make better, more informed decisions. That's why we take our team approach. But if they could better understand a little bit more around their and expand their financial IQ as it pertains to them, they're probably going to be more willing to learn about it and engage in it. But they've got to start with, the check out podcasts. Everybody's like this. They're 20 minutes, pick up some insight. I hope that, you can gain something, but taxes, take as much tax knowledge as you can. If you understand the tax code, you're going to feel so much more comfortable than just figuring out if you get a refund or owe. And hopefully most of you out there are probably trying to find out how not to owe taxes. But even as simple as, what does it mean when certain legislation's been passed that impacts your wealth, but it may not really affect you for 10 years from now? I mean, Secure Act and some of these other things that are out there. So I think it's extremely important for people to try to carve out 30 to 45 minutes, an hour a day for continual learning, specifically on enhancing their financial IQ. And that's what we're here to kind of maybe to expand a little bit more on.
Well, I can speak, from my personal experience on a daily basis. It's about 1 to 2 hours a day do I spend on my own financial IQ. I do this as a professional. I think that's so important to always be looking at learning something new. And if I could pick up 1 or 2 things by, doing my extra studying, and help, let's say 3 clients over the course of the year, well, those 3 clients are better off because of the effort that I put in to learning something new, or maybe revisiting something that I already know, just to make sure that if there was a trend that changed, I'm on top of that trend. That's because we deal with a very dynamic economy and market, and things are changing on a consistent basis. And so if I'm relying on what I knew 5 years ago, well, I'm already, outdated, right?
Yeah.
And it comes back to what I would call it just being a growth mindset. And that's something that you and I spoke about. What are your thoughts on like a growth mindset versus other mindsets?
Well, I mean, I think if you don't have a growth mindset, you're limited. You're limiting yourself. If you have a fixed mindset based on past experiences or focuses, that you're gonna be limited to whatever that mindset is going to allow you to be, available to. So by improving your financial IQ, it's going to align you to be more of a growth mindseted person, being more open to the things, right? We're trying to tell clients all the time, you got to be more open to stuff. Our industry, to your point, changes drastically. I mean, the common bad word of our industry is annuities. It's a simple word change. If I could go to a client, right, Jason, and say, hey, I'm going to share this strategy where you have some downside protection in crazy markets. You're still going to have upside potential benefits. And on top of all that, you're going to have some added benefits that are going to address your long-term care needs through accelerated benefits. You could have an enhanced death benefit and other factors. Why would someone not be open-minded to listening to that strategy?
Well, I
But if we,
think there was, I think there's a issue with a lot of advisors in the industry having a fixed mindset, okay? Because they work at a firm, and that firm's like, you can only recommend these types of annuities, and we're going to pay you this extra money to do so. And then that gets out into like just our society. And then that's when annuities become a 4 letter word within the industry. But when it's built into a comprehensive plan with an advisor that has a growth mindset, that is focusing on the client's best interest first, second, and third, and only being a fiduciary, then that's when it's not a product. It's looking to fit into the overall approach and strategy. And I think that's where the mindset has to go, but also to where the client, right? The client, if they have that fixed mindset on the annuities because they once knew a neighbor's whose second cousin who got into a bad annuity, and they're not open to just exploring what it is and being educated into how it works, well, then it's a struggle for them to maybe reach their financial goals because of their fixed mindset. So it could be hindering with that. But when I talk about growth mindset, I want to be very specific what I'm talking about. with growth mindset, that's when you're embracing challenges. We call it just life, right? And my
Yeah.
wife and I, Rachel, we call it, oh, it became a thing, right? So it's like just trying to like just do something basic. Next thing you know, there's like 8 steps involved when you're just trying to do something basic. It became a thing. Well, that's just life. But you have to embrace those challenges because we all face them. Continual learning. We're talking about continual learning in our podcast today. Resilience and persistence. I gotta say, when I face setbacks or failures, with a growth mindset, you bounce back quickly and you see those failures as temporary setbacks and you remain resilient in that face of adversity. I think you also have to have an increased effort and motivation. You got to be intrinsically motivated with a growth mindset. It can't be an external factor, it has to be internal. You understand that you have to have adaptability and flexibility along with the positive attitude. And last but not least, something that you and I do quite a bit, Andy, and I really appreciate this about our relationship, is our collaboration that we have with one another with a growth oriented relationship. Surrounding yourself with other people that are growth minded, I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing that you look at challenges and you look at situations totally different as you learn how to navigate through it rather than letting it become a hindrance and anchoring you down.
Yeah, no, I can't agree with you more. It's the more you align yourself with people that, I don't want to say same mindsets, just not prohibiting or fixed mindsets. Be around people. We challenge each other every day, and that's what's fun about what our relationship when we met just a short time ago. The expansion we've had just from that synergy of talking. So. I think that's the main thing is you got to be curious. We've heard that in past podcasts. Stay curious about financial IQ. Expand your horizon. Understand that if you're not maybe making $1 million a year or having a super high net worth or cash flow, taxes are still something that are important to understand. And if you could understand tax code, it's going to benefit you regardless of where you are in your wealth. Expanding out, I mean, to even we talked annuities just as a quick off the cuff because everybody knows about them. But on the other spectrum, you've got alternatives. The industry has positioned, I think, to train some clients understand alternatives are risky. All investments have risk, right? I mean, our disclaimer and our compliance team would probably want us to make sure we're saying stuff like that. But the reality is they're only alternatives because they're alternatives to the stock market. So you have to ask what's on the other side of the coin, right? There's always two sides to every single story, every single situation. So expand your mindset. If someone's saying no to this or saying yes to this, what's the next question to ask? And then lastly, go through a financial IQ questionnaire. Where I'm excited that we're going to be launching within the Clear Picture Wealth Program a financial and mindset IQ, so that clients can get a better understanding of their personal financial IQ. And this isn't, do you know what a stock is? Do you know what a bond is? These are questions like, do you believe that you understand the financial matters when managing your short and long-term goals? These are questions as, are you financially prepared? Do you feel that you're financially prepared for your family if something were to happen to you? Right? Because those are the financial IQs that help you make the most informed decision, which is what we're all about, right? So that's why I'm so passionate about financial IQ. That's why I'm so passionate about growth mindset. Is if you're a fixed mindset, you're not willing to expand, and it's really hard to have proactive, well-informed, meaningful decisions. If you're closed mindset or fixed mindset, that conversation at the country club or around the coffee table at your local coffee shop is probably gonna not really be strong. So I'm super passionate about telling people, get out there, learn about it, ask your advisors, synergize in groups, join masterminds. There's so much stuff out there right now on the financial IQ side of the business.
I agree with you, Andy. I mean, is there any last parting comments that you have for our listeners?
Um, no, I just really went crazy on that last one, and there we
No, no,
go.
you dropped the mic on that, and that's where I was like, okay, maybe there's one last tidbit that he has to share. Well,
Yeah,
Andy,
no,
I'm agreeing with what you're saying as far as of making sure that you're not anchored into something that you heard about 10 years ago or an experience that someone else had, whether that be a good or a bad experience. It's like, well, I mean, every once in a while I have someone come in and like, hey, my neighbor is flipping homes and I want to do the same thing. Okay, great. Tell me about your experience with like construction. I have no experience with construction. Okay, tell
Mhm.
me about your experience with buying homes. I bought one home and I've lived in it for the last 20 years. Okay, what what is the team of professionals that you're going to build around you? What do you mean by that question? Wow. Okay. Right. So great on the growth mindset, but they didn't do anything else that we talked about as far as having that financial IQ and building that through learning and exploring and have that culture of continual learning. And I think that's so important. I am grateful that they reached out to me to talk about it up front instead of letting me know that they did it after the fact, because then that creates more problems down the road that we didn't have a chance to address.
Yeah. No, with you. Excited for us always for our conversations. So take away from today, if you're a client, if you're listening, if you're out there and enjoying these podcasts that we're putting together real quick, one is increase your financial IQ. Be proactive in your education, just like you would your health, your fitness, whatever it may be. Increase the brain. It's your most powerful muscle out there. But don't think about it from terms of understanding how to buy, sell, or trade stocks as necessarily. Think about your financial IQ as it relates to your wealth planning journey. And then we're excited that we'll be shortly launching our financial IQ quiz to kind of steer that conversation that'll support the clear picture analysis process as well. So as always, looking forward to talking to any client out there that's interested in their own assessment and better understanding. For advisors that I know probably listen to us, it's a get out there, talk to your clients, expand their financial IQ. If they understand what you're trying to do for them and see the value, right? Action will happen. And that's all that we want. We want to help clients make the most informed decisions, expand beyond traditional wealth management approaches. And so I'm excited that we're able to have this conversation. So Jason, tell us where they can get that clear picture assessment on the website.
Well, there's so many places that we provide it. I mean, what are you thinking, Andy? I mean, drive them home.
Yeah, so we've got you can always go to primeclaritywealth.com and there is a free assessment link. You can always reach out to me if you're around the Midwest here in the Midwest region. I'm always reachable and you connect with me there. And I know, Jason, you've got some links on your website as well as PCIACharleston.com, and Jason's going to be on the East Coast. So we're excited to talk. It's a conversation, 30 minutes. Would love to connect and learn more. But until our next 20 minutes of clarity, thanks for joining.
Thank you.